with invited guests, best-selling authors, international speakers, coaches, and business leaders. A collective conversation aimed to empower, encourage, inspire all that listen. So welcome to our show, Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends. Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to, Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy. It is our author tour that we are on tonight. We are on a special night. I got a kind of little glare going on here, but how's everybody doing? Excuse me. Tonight, as we continue, our author tour. Yes, her story, her voice, her story, her impact. I am Dr. Sandy Sanders. I'm your host and creator, and I am super excited to be with you here on tonight. I got to take care of my lighting here a little bit. Well, listen, I am super excited to have you here with me on tonight. We've had some amazing authors on. So I'm going to do my intro one more time, but I need you guys to share this out. We're going to get it shared out because I have the phenomenal, Dr. Celeste Payne with me on tonight. Many of you all know she's the art lady. Yes, she is, but she's also a multi-time award-winning #1 bestseller. And listen, you want to definitely be at the table with us on tonight. And then, of course, I'll be sharing about our next guest because we have 2 interviews. Did you all catch last night? Did you catch last night's interview? Listen, it was phenomenal. And we'll be doing some replays. And then, of course, I do have another group of authors that will be coming on about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So listen, while I do our intro one more time, my guest is in the green room. She is no stranger to Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy, not at all. All right, so listen, I want you all to buckle up. Get ready, go get your tea, go get your coffee, get your water. Come on, let's have the conversation, okay? Book Talks with Sandy. I am super excited to be here on with you on tonight. It is her voice, her story, her impact. We're making a loud sound and acknowledging women that have made history, yes, locally, globally, and that are making history even right now. All right, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Let's go ahead and play our intro one more time, and we'll get started, okay? All right, we'll talk with you in a few minutes. All right. Welcome to Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends, a weekly talking segment with invited guests, best-selling authors, international speakers, coaches, and business leaders. A collective conversation aimed to empower, encourage, inspire all that listen. So welcome to our show, Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends. Yes, we are Coffee Conversation and Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends. A lot of time I throw that Book Talks in there, and because that's what we do. Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy. I am Dr. Sandy Sanders. I'm your host and creator of the Coffee Conversation with Sandy podcast. We are powered by CTR Media Network, and we're heard in over 350 million viewers worldwide in over 100 countries globally. Here's what we do. We host authors, anthology book projects, and most of all, I say that it is for you. Why do I say that? Because you just might be looking for a good book to read, and we're going to be talking with my guest on tonight, who is no stranger to our platform. I'm talking about the phenomenal, Dr. Celeste Payne. Hey, Dr. Celeste, how you doing, lady? Oh, you got your mute on. There we go.
All right, there we go. I think we're live.
Yes, we're live.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. It's always an honor to be on the platform with you. It's always an honor to be able to share, and it's phenomenal that you have created this platform to allow women like me to come on and share. So thank you again.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. What you been up to lately?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I moved from Louisiana to Jacksonville, Florida. And I've been here about a year and a half, almost 2 June will be 2 years. And we just did our grand opening of Arts
Mhm.
Empowered here in Jacksonville, Florida this past weekend. So that was amazing. It was phenomenal. And just ready to make my mark in this part of the country.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Want to share again your background. You're an artist, you're an educator, you're a publisher. Let me get my glasses on. Faith Forward Leader. Dr. Celeste Payne is a multi disciplinary leader working at the intersection of arts, education, creative technology, and publishing, helping individuals and organizations move from vision to execution with clarity and confidence. Some of your pillars that you have is arts and creative education, creative technology, publishing, and thought leadership. You are the CEO of Arts Empowered, where virtual students and you have an art gallery created virtual reality art exhibits for high school art shows. I love it. I love it. Tell us about, yeah, it came to pass. You open up your new location, the grand opening. What and I listen, bring us in on that.
Well, when you first go to a territory, you got to scout it out and see
Yeah.
where you want to be and where you should be.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that I found the place that I was supposed to be. And one of the other things I wanted to say is that when you step into a territory, you do need to announce yourself. Not only just for the natural purposes. Yes, we want to let people know where we are
Yeah.
and invite customers in, but I think the atmosphere needs to know that you're there. So that was one of the main reasons why I did the grand opening. I wanted to, of course, let people know that I was in a particular zip code, but I wanted to make an announcement to the world that I am here and I will do the things, follow that blueprint that I've been following for the past couple of years,
Yeah.
making arts available to people, because one thing that I know about the arts is that the arts open up your life, especially in your creativity. And when I
Mm-hmm.
work with my students, they want to know, why do they have to learn certain things in art? And I'm telling them, art teaches you skills, problem solving skills
Yeah.
that may not show up with a paintbrush or a pencil or crayon or some clay, but it'll show up in you thinking differently and in you innovating and in you moving differently,
Yeah.
because you're not limited by what someone else is saying. You're free to absolutely explore all parts of your creativity through the
True.
art. I believe that transfers to life in general.
That is so true. And you're really, really good at bringing that to light with us. You transitioned out now, Louisiana, that area, that was home for you, right? Is that home for you? Was that home?
That's not my birth home, but that was home for me for about 12 years.
Yeah.
And so when I moved, it was, a transition. So I'm going to tell you, I moved from Jacksonville to Louisiana. So at the
Got
time,
it.
yeah, so I'll tell you this funny thing. And when we talk about, when I get into my talk about making your mark,
Yeah.
um, it'll make sense. But in
I'm gonna fix my lighting.
2010, I in 2010, I was with a ministry and we opened a satellite location in Jacksonville, Florida. And I was one of the people who moved with the church and planted the new church. And so part of making your mark is actually being brave enough to move when God says move, even when it doesn't make sense. So we literally packed up everything we had in a U-Haul truck and moved to Jacksonville to help birth ministry. And what some people don't know is I wasn't a teacher before I moved to Jacksonville. I actually became an educator and got certified to be a teacher in Jacksonville. We can't hear you, Miss Sandy. I think you're muted.
There I am. That is so powerful. And one of the things that, as you said, making your mark where you are, that you actually had been in Baton Rouge for, or in Louisiana, because I don't know if it was Baton Rouge or not, because
Yeah.
you and I connected when I lived in Mississippi. That
Yeah.
timeline is so interesting because I lived in Biloxi, Gulfport, Biloxi, that area for 15 years. I moved there in 2009, and God allowed you and I, our paths to cross. And we, of course, had common people in our lives. And we had people that were there to, I'm adjusting my computer so I can have light here. All right, there we go. And so it was individuals that brought us together. And this leads us into how we make our mark, we get our place, and we find ourselves that we think that that is where we're going to settle. At least that was for me, not knowing. But then as years went on, made a decision that I was going to move to North Carolina, and that's where I am now. But you're in Florida. But we met back, in Biloxi, and we met virtually.
Yes, exactly. We
Come
did.
on, we're gonna tell the folks. Yes, we did. We met virtually, and we met through a dear friend who you and I both listen. You all, we lost a very dear friend,
Yes, we did.
and a sister to many, that not even blood related. She impacted our lives in both, and we're talking about the amazing, yes, the late Nadia. It's hard to even say late, but Nadia Francois. Oh
Yes.
my goodness. You and I came to know each other through your relationship and our relationship with her, and it
Yes.
was through books. It was through books. She was my business coach. She was probably your business coach too. And
Yes.
we knew and we worked on teams and projects together. Come on and share, just share your heart, because we could go left or right. We could where we are. So go ahead and just share what's on your heart about. And we're going to dedicate this night and this call, this broadcast to Nadia, and in her memory. And we want to do something a little bit later, but in this conversation, we want to honor the woman of God and our dear friend. Yes.
Yes. And so Nadia came into my life in a time where I was searching for some new relationships when I was in Baton Rouge. And what happened for me was I was used to staying within a certain circle, in
Uh-huh.
mostly ministry circles.
Yeah.
And what I understand is that ministry doesn't always happen in a pulpit or in a sanctuary, that there's something called marketplace ministry, where you're out in the marketplace.
In the marketplace.
Yes, you're out in the marketplace. You're out amongst the people,
Yeah.
and you're doing ministry. And so I was looking for another group of people. I wasn't going to throw away the group I had, but I wanted to expand my network. And
Yeah.
one day I swiped. I don't know if they still have that on Facebook, but there was a thing where you swipe one way and it gives you events. And I saw an event, and I believe Nadia was hosting the event, or she was there, and we
Uh-huh.
connected there. And that's how we got started. And so then I was a part of several of her book projects. And then she found out that I could design and do graphics and do balloon arches. And we just became very good friends. And
Yeah.
what I can say that I had some pretty some pretty impactful things happened in my life.
Yeah.
And they were private things, but Nadia was always there with an encouraging word. She was always there pushing me and holding me accountable,
Yeah.
different things, as well as, I mean, I don't know if you ever tasted her food. Sis could cook. For
Yes.
real.
Okay. So the shrimp and grits.
Yes.
You made the shrimp and grits. Yeah.
Yes. Every
Yeah.
event that she had, she
So
cooked the food.
she would cook the food. Yeah. Yeah. So it was a shrimp and grits. So yeah, I had the food. Yes, I did.
And she would make sure that on holidays and family times that I had food. Like she would be like, "Hey, Miss Payne," she said it with this twang, "Miss Payne, meet me over here. Meet me at the Dollar General on Greenwell Springs.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
something for you." And so she would do that. And I want to share this. The last time I saw her in person was Christmas time this past Christmas. And
Uh-huh.
I was in Baton Rouge and she uh, met me at Sonny's. That was our place. We would go to Sonny's barbecue after conquering some event or some conference, or for me, if it was a paint
Time to kick,
party.
time to kick our shoes off after we done
Yes.
worked it down to the bone. I know, right?
And Sonny's was right across the highway from my art studio. So we would meet there and eat. And we did meet. And I was honored to, I was like, "Oh, I'm paying for lunch today." And she brought me a present. And because she knew I was moving, she brought me a housewarming present. And I still have it in my bathroom. But those are my fond memories of Nadia. And, you know, there are still times that I wish I could pick up my phone and call her. And there are
Yeah.
times, like even in my phone, my favorites, she's still listed as a favorite on my phone. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate the impact that she's had in my life. And I thank the Lord for allowing her to be in my life. I, of course, miss her dearly. But if you calculated the impact that she had on women in the 4 or 5 years that I knew her, and I know she's impacted more than those. She has done more than many people get to do if they live to their 60s and 70s. And so I want to
Yeah.
say, well done, Nadia. You did a great work and you sowed
Yeah.
a lot of seeds and encouragement and empowerment into lots of women. So we celebrate you today and celebrate your memory and celebrate
Yeah.
the legacy that you've left in each one of us.
Listen, it was Miss Sandy. That was it with me, Miss Sandy.
Yes.
And I can't even remember how or when we connected. I want to say it was to I can't because
It was
I know
something,
we're
wasn't
going
it
through
something with
it had
Kern?
it was with Kern, but it was way before then. You and I, it's interesting. And I want to say a quick big shout out to two of our sponsors are in here. Pastor C. Pfizer, she's in here with us this evening. Dr. LaShonda, she's been hanging out with me from first night. And yes, and Ruth, who's coming through, she is out of Biloxi, I want to say, on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. That's LaShonda right there. But Ruth, I know I see you there. Courtney out of Alabama. Ruth is going to be on with us. She's going to be she's an author. Dr. LaShonda's got her authors and anthology projects and a solo project. She's coming through, as well as Pastor, we call her Pastor C. Pastor Cynthia, she'll be coming through. And Dr. LaShonda, as she said, she was a great person. She had the pleasure of meeting her a couple of times at an event in Atlanta. Oh, man. So I know we're going to keep on giving homage to her. So Dr. LaShonda, be prepared. I want you to share. She comes on the 17th and her authors are coming in on the 24th. But oh God, where can I start? Is that we used to meet on Clubhouse every
Yes,
Monday,
every Monday
every Monday, and she would
at
be in
6 a.m.
there at 6 a.m. Yes,
6
she
a.m.
would.
Central Time. Come on here.
Exactly. And you will be running. We could tell you will be in the car because you will be on your way to
I had to
school.
go to work.
She,
Yes.
she would be on the way to, and she was like, I know you on your way to school, but what you got going on? She always wanted to know where we were with our projects, how far have we come? Did we write our vision? Have you wrote it out? She was all on top of us. So yes, she was our coach. She was our coach, and never lost touch with us. Even when I moved, she said, I'm doing a virtual. You
Right.
want to be a part of it? Come on. I want you to be a part of it. And I'm
Yes.
like, yes, okay. And we just know, as you said, is that she just made space available for women. She made space available for her. Um, that's all I can say. There's
Yes.
so much that we could say, but she did a job well done, like you said. And I never met a young lady that was, whether there was two people in the room or
Yeah.
whether there was 200 people in the room,
Mhm.
she made sure that you were special, and she made sure that it was a preparation, whether it was two or whether it was 100. She was preparing for the masses, and that,
Mhm.
Celeste, wouldn't you say, Pastor, wouldn't you say that that is one of the things as part of her legacy,
Yes.
is that to be prepared, to
Mhm.
be prepared? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that is that, yes, definitely she was prepared, but she also was always thinking ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
And
about.
yeah, and she was always thinking ahead,
Yeah,
always thinking about the next, and always open to innovative ideas.
yeah,
I don't know if you know this, but like over the last year, she started something called the Melanated Golf Club. And so
no,
she was got interested in golf and
yeah,
wanted to do a group, pull together women who wanted to learn how to play golf. And even in this past December, she did her inaugural cultural and arts festival. There
yeah,
was always something very new going on. And what I would say is that Nadia made her mark.
yeah.
And so my question, even to those who are watching, is how are you making your mark? And what are you going to do to make sure that your mark is made?
Wow. Yes, yes, absolutely. Listen, there was so many marks that she made in other people's lives, so much so. While Celeste is talking and Dr. Celeste is speaking, we've got pictures, tons of pictures.
Yes.
But one of the things I found is Nigeria. If you all know of Coach Shirley, and I'm going to be bringing Dr. Celeste on. We're not going to be on long. I want to give her an opportunity to share her book. But so much as far as Nigeria, that Nadia made an impact. We could probably talk about Nadia all night, all day. We can laugh, we can cry, we'll come with the tissues. But one of the things is that you're right, is that she was the first person that I ever heard, don't wait until January to start planning. Don't wait until November to start planning for Black Friday.
Right.
She had us thinking about Black Friday back in August and September. She was, have you got your Black Friday ideas together? Oh man, in our coaching sessions. So that is just one of the main things that I think is that she instilled into me, outside of just our friendship, is to be prepared. Be prepared. Keep being prepared. All right. And so and I know that we're going to do something that, y'all, I broke my glasses and these are the ones I can see out of, but I'm gonna put them on. But one of the things is that we salute her. We honor her legacy that she left, and our desire is that, yeah, we would make her proud in what she put in us, as her friend, but also as her students, because she was a teacher. She was way far advanced. She was a trailblazer for sure. A trailblazer for sure. And so, yeah, so we honor that great woman of God, Nadia Francois. We certainly, one of her biggest things, what superpower. That she was the first one I ever heard talk about superpower. My superpower.
What's
Well,
your
those
superpower?
What's your superpower? Yeah, yeah. So those of you that are tuning in, I do see you in the audience. I do have my guest tonight, who is none other than Dr. Celeste Payne. She is the CEO of Arts Empowered Incorporated, but she's also a multi-time international. She's a bestseller. She's a number 1 best-selling author. And her and I have shared a couple of collaborations that was visioned by Nadia, and we have that in common, as well as just working on projects with Dr. Kern Cherry as well when I was in Mississippi. And so it is always a pleasure. So at this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Payne to come on and share any books of her choice. She has several books. Art is her jam. She's got coloring books. She has instructional books. And so whatever book she's choosing to talk about on tonight, I am going to just yield, start doing some sharing. Okay. And y'all, I apologize if there's a
Ask
little.
you one question, Miss Sandy, before
yeah, go ahead.
So I actually have like a word of encouragement for the women. So I want to talk about my book a little bit, but I want to make sure that I release this word of encouragement for
I love it, because that's where we are, and I'll talk about it more. The Lord began to show me that as our theme is about her voice, her story, her impact, we as women, our impact in the earth. And so we just, had a conversation about an amazing woman that left an impact in the earth. And so I thank you for wheeling me back in, and by all means, take it away. The microphone is yours. At this time, I present our speaker tonight, and our author speaker. Yes, Dr. Celeste Payne.
Well, good evening, everyone. I see you in the chat. If you're ready to make your mark and make a difference in the world and a greater impact, I want you to go ahead and put a 1 in the chat tonight. I'm Dr. Celeste Payne, and I am the founder of Arts Empowered, Inc., which is a nonprofit organization that advocates for the arts all across the country, virtually, and we're right here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm excited to be with you tonight. I will go ahead and share my book with you tonight, the one that Miss Sandy loves the most, which is my Black and Beautiful coloring book. And of course, this is applicable for Black History Month and even Women's Empowerment Month, because what I tried to do with this book was to make sure that women had a positive outlet, that not only they could relax and color. If you know anything about the arts relax your body, they reduce your stress, but also I wanted to impart some empowerment in the coloring book. And so I'll read a couple of pages to you, and then I'm going to share what I believe that I have to give you to help empower you to move forward this month without fear, without any regret. So one of the pages says, never stop looking up. And it's this lady, she's here, and you color her, but the goal is, while you're relaxed, while you're at a state of peace, to be able to also receive some encouragement and empowerment. And so today I want to talk to you about what you need to do to make sure that fear does not hold your future captive. I want to give you 3 things to let you know that fear should not hold your future captive. And what I want to encourage you to do is to make your mark. I want somebody to type that in the chat. Make your mark. Make your mark, because it's very important that we do not sleep on what it is that God has called us to do and who he has called us to be. And there are many of us who have put things on the back burner, have made excuses. But guess what? That season is over. This is a new year. This is 2026. This is the year for you to move forward and go for it. I want to tell one of you, go for it. There's no fear should hold you back from going for it. So tonight I want to talk to you about making your mark. And as an art teacher, working in a school with middle school children, I know that a mark is created when you pick up a tool and strike a surface. When you pick up that tool and hit the surface, your mark, you make a mark, right? And your life works the same way. You cannot make a mark without picking up something and using it. And when I talk about picking up something and using it, I'm talking about those gifts, those talents, those skills that you have that impact people's lives. And many of us have put those things on the back burner. We have put those things in a place of captivity. We put them in a jail or in a cage. Why? Because of fear. Fear maybe of what someone might say, or who won't support it, or because somebody else down the street might have written a book. You don't want to write your book. The devil is a liar, and you have got to decide that your mark matters and that what you have makes a difference. I dare somebody to declare that, even in the chat, that what I have makes a difference. I don't care if you go ride down the street and you see McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, they're all next to each other and they're all making money and all prospering. So your life works the same, that you cannot make a mark without picking something up and using it. And I'm telling you to pick up your talents, pick up your gifts, and start using them. In this Women's Empowerment Month, I want to encourage you to pick up what you've been afraid to pick up. At the end of last year, I was at a gathering, and one of the people said, this year, you've got to take it seriously. You've got to take what God has given you seriously. You've got to take the plan that he has for your life seriously. You've got to take your dreams and your hopes seriously, because if you don't put intentional effort on it, it's not going to produce what you want it to produce. Because the truth is, if you think about it, God is calling you to a region or an area of influence, and your mark is connected to your willingness to step out. Your mark is connected to your willingness to step out and make a step and take a chance. Because some of you are afraid, as I was at one point, to take a chance and take a step. So tonight you have permission to take the step. You have permission to move out and do what God is calling you to do. So the first thing, I'm gonna give you 3 steps and we'll be gone tonight. Step number 1 is name the tool. You've got to be bold enough to claim who you are and what you're going to do. So let's say your tool is a book. Name it. I'm an author. Let's say your tool is your voice. As she said in the intro, we're talking about our voices as women. Claim that your voice has power, that it has impact. Claim it and proclaim it. And don't be afraid or ashamed because of fear to not reach out and say, hey, my voice has impact. I'm going to find out who my voice impacts. I'm going to find out who my talents impact. In your life, your tool might be your voice. It might be your story. It might be your creativity. It might be your leadership skills. It might be that business idea that would change your whole community. But what I want you to know is that you don't have to hide that. And I want you to put in the chat, if anybody's not scared, put in the chat what tool you keep putting down because you don't feel ready. What is that tool that you keep putting down because you don't feel like you're ready? I know I had gone through some traumatic experiences in life, and there's one particular area, I'm not going to tell you about it now because I'm going to do a grand release of it. But I was ashamed to talk about this area of life. And guess what? That's the area that people needed to hear from me in. And so what I'm doing is planning around that area, that thing that I was afraid to pick up, that thing I was afraid to talk about, that thing that I thought maybe people would reject. Guess what? It's about to be on and popping. It's about to be out there. And I'm excited to do that. So once you name your tool, the next step is to stop treating it like it's a hot potato. Y'all ever do that? You know that you're supposed to be doing something, you pick it up and you get overwhelmed, or you feel like it's too much and you drop it. And then about 2 years later, you say, I really know I should be doing this. I'm gonna pick it up. And then you drop it. It's not a hot potato. It's not dangerous. It's really a door to help you get into where God is trying to get you. And so sometimes the things that intimidate us are the keys to that next pathway that God has for us. So I want you to be brave tonight and pick that tool up and name it. That's step number one. Step number two, I want you to be open to healing the hand that holds the tool. Because in most cases, the tool is not the problem. It's the hurt that we've endured or the trauma that we've experienced that keeps us from holding that tool like we really want to, and we really should, to make the impact that we need. So it's not the tool, it's the pain or the hurt that's connected to that thing. But I've always been taught that some of the things that we go through, some of the things that we've had to endure, those are the things that really can help bring somebody else out. So you're wondering, what is it that what tool is it that can make an impact? I want you to not be afraid of the marks or the scars that you've been through in life, because those things help make an impact. So what I've discovered as I was studying and just meditating on this is some of the marks we make are not purposeful marks. They're marks of survival. And so some of us are spending our energy on surviving instead of purposeful building, because trauma makes you create things out of fear, and triggers make you react instead of building. So I want you to be brave and start building what God has told you is the mission that he has for you. And when you're in survival mode, you'll keep making marks that look like protection. You'll keep making marks that look like you're hiding, and you'll keep making marks that will cause you to shrink and cause you to fall into people pleasing and overworking yourself in areas that are not areas that are helping you build what you're supposed to build. But God called you to make faith marks, not fear marks. I dare somebody to put in the chat, I'm making faith marks, not fear marks. And that's why, you see my website there, drcelestepayne.com. About a year and a half ago, I started an organization called The Well Life, because I felt that not only myself, but women in general needed to be well in order to make an impact. In order to build, you got to be well. You can't build. Think about it. If you're sick in the natural physically, there's certain things you can't do. But a healed person can conquer anything. A healed person can go and do things without offense, without being held, without fear capturing them, without being afraid to declare and decree what they're supposed to be doing. So I want to encourage you that you need to get to the root of some of this stuff so that healing can guide the next season in your life and not hurt, so that you can build on the foundation of on a healthy foundation, and not on a foundation that is centered around trauma and what somebody did to you 22 years ago. And that person is going on with their life and they are living their best life, and we're still holding on to that. We want to be a part of the movement that's moving forward and opening those doors. And so what I want you to know is that clarity, because some of you may feel that it's not clear, but clarity comes after your mark gets clearer. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Clarity comes after movement, and your mark gets clearer when you start. So clarity comes after you start moving. So when I paint a painting, after I make the first stroke, that's not the final piece. That's just the beginning. And I may not know really what the end looks like, but you've got to be brave enough to make the first stroke. So step number 3 is strike the surface God assigned you to strike. With art, you learn the pressure, the direction, the style by using the tool. So some of you are not going to learn what you need to learn until you start using the tool. Once you start using it, it start opening up resources, start opening up knowledge, because you're ready for it, because you're in action. So I want you to choose your surface, because God is calling you to strike this week, okay? So I'm challenging each of you, whichever area hits you, start that book outline, post the video. Some of you are probably afraid to post a video. You got a video waiting and you won't post it. Launch the class. Apply for that new job or opportunity or grant. Set that boundary that will make sure you can focus on what you're supposed to be focusing on. Sign up for that training that you know you need to carry your vision forward. And be okay with the fact that your mark won't be perfect, but it will be yours, and it will be a step towards the obedience that God is calling you to walk in. One thing I know for myself is, as I walk in obedience and I take one step at a time, God begins to open up ways for me. He begins to open up knowledge. He begins to open up wisdom. He begins to open up opportunities for me. Why? Because I'm willing to take one step, and I'm not always perfect, right? None of us are going to be perfect. So give yourself grace in that. So as I close out, I want to go over those three things again. Number 1, you need to name the tool. You need to name the tool. You need to write it down, journal it, do whatever. Text a friend right now and say, hey, I'm an author. If you never wrote a book and you know you're supposed to, I'm an author. My book is going to be done in 6 months or 3 months or however many months. So step 1 is to name that tool. Step number 2 is to be open to getting your hand healed so you can hold that tool properly and properly steward it, properly care for it, and really carry it out to the full extent that it's supposed to be carried out to. Because some of you should be best-selling authors. Some of you should be multi-million-dollar business owners, franchise owners, nonprofit leaders. But you want to hold that thing, that tool that God is giving you, in healed hands. Number 3, strike the surface God assigned. Don't be afraid to make your move. Back in my day, there was a song that said, bust the move. So I'm challenging you to bust the move this week and get your work started and get that momentum started, because as you start moving, momentum will take you to that next level. This is your season to pick it up, right? Pick it up and don't put it down. Don't just admire your purpose, but make your mark. And I want to let you know that as we step back and Miss Sandy comes back up, I am very good at helping people make their mark and figure out what it is that they're supposed to be doing based on your skills and your talents. And so if you're on here and you're like, look, I relate to what you're saying, I need some help figuring out what it is I'm supposed to be doing, I need somebody to encourage me and push me forward, she has my information up on the screen, and feel free to DM me, feel free to talk. We can get on a session and just have a quick little talk, because what I know is that this year, you don't want to let this year go by without taking advantage and making your mark. Because if you look at the climate of the times, women especially, we're the highest number of people who've been laid off. We have so much to offer, and we just need to get out there and start offering it and make your mark. And so with that being said, Miss Sandy, I turn it back over to you.
Oh man, y'all come on and let's give it up as we say. Yes, let's give the emojis in the chat. Let's give the emojis, the hearts, the love. If you're over there on Facebook, I see you. And also, you may be tuning in on the YouTube side. Dr. Celeste, thank you so much. I tell you, God just used you mightily. It's all, I discovered last night that it's more than about the book. Is the book is the byproduct. The book tour itself, the books are about the byproduct, you all. It's the message, your story, your voice, your story, and your impact. We have been given 3 things to walk away with tonight that are gems. They're like diamonds that have been dropped from heaven, okay? Like manna from heaven. And so do touch base, do get in touch with Dr. Payne. Listen, I so thank you for coming through. I want to acknowledge our sponsors. Yes, we and Dr. Payne is also one of our sponsors. I put a website up. Let me just quickly share my screen as I want you all to follow. Here we go. And let's see, where is Dr. Payne's? Yes, she's got the Black History coloring book over there. As you see that she did her open house last week, which was phenomenal. But simply go to her website. She's got some other class. She has another class that you can actually sign up for. But if you want to just have that chat, have that conversation with her, just simply go to drcelestepayne.com. Go to drcelestepayne.com. And I also want to acknowledge Dr. Woodford, Dr. LaShonda, want to acknowledge you as well, and want to pull up your website. We're going to actually pull that up. You all, we do have another group of authors coming on. So once we leave here, I wanted to have a space, but we'll be back on at 8:30. But I want to acknowledge 2 of our sponsors that are out there. And it is, here is Dr. LaShonda. And you all, she's one of our sponsors of the tour this year. And I'm so grateful. Several of her authors have come through and will be continuing. They're actually going to be part of the ones that will be wrapping it up as well on the very last night. But Dr. LaShonda is a visionary author as well, and multi-time award winning. She has multiple awards, and so we're so honored. Thank you so much, excuse me, for finding value in what we do. And our other sponsor that we have on tonight is none other than Pastor. Let me pull up her information. Let's see here. Y'all, I'm lagging just a little bit. So, Celeste, can you still see me over there?
I still can, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to come back so I can share my screen one more time. And I see y'all over there in the chat. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Nobles, you've been hanging out with me every night. And I think
we lost her. I think we lost her. Oh,
see, there I am.
There you go.
Okay. All right. And we do have Pastor. Let's see, that was Pastor. Okay, there we go. Pastor C. I want to acknowledge these amazing ladies. I got to get it right. Tongue-tied. Cycle Breakers for Life. Cycle Breakers for Life, breakthrough transformational coach, break cycles, birth breakthrough. She not only serves, she is Pastor C. She does workshop, master classes, transformational speaker, breakthrough coaching, life coaching, author, resource journals, CB4L, empowerment community as well. So Pastor C is also, and we'll be sharing more of her information along the stream. But I wanted to acknowledge our sponsors that are in the audience on tonight. I do have another one that we're going to be sharing in our next broadcast. But listen, before we're going to go ahead and wrap it up as we get ready for our next group of authors, I want to thank you, ladies. Dr. Payne, come on, what is the last words? I'm going to yield back. You give us our last words, and we're going to roll out, take a break, and we'll be back with the amazing authors. You all, it is part two. We're doing the part two of the authors that came through, started on last night with the phenomenal award-winning actor Ron Guilford. He was on Godfrey, excuse me, Ron Godfrey, amazing author. And on tonight, we are going to, y'all will see the flyer, okay? I don't want to mess with their names, okay? But just come on back at 8:30. All right. And of course, Lady J of EGO Entertainment. We are an official tour stop, part of their entertainment, and so we're super excited. But come on, give us the last words here, and just share your heart.
Well, all I want to say to you is that your mark makes a difference, and that whatever skills, talents, abilities that God gave you, He didn't make a mistake, and He wants to use them to prosper you. So I just encourage you to go forth, do what you're called to do, and be that amazing person, that amazing impact and leader in your community. And I just pray the blessings of the Lord upon each of you. And we'll see you at 8:30 at the next session.
Yes, we will. All righty. Well, listen, y'all look out for the notification, okay? And we'll see you soon. Listen, you guys know that I love you, and we'll see you shortly. All right, y'all take care, and we'll do our little intro. Where we go. I'm doing all the background stuff on here on tonight, okay? We'll see y'all soon, okay? All right, good night. Yes, and we're ending. Okay.